Hello, everyone. It's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. Thank you all for being here and welcome, whether you are watching the live premiere on YouTube on Thursday evening, December the 15th, or if you're watching the replay. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I don't want to keep you very long, but I have some ideas for packaging stocking stuffers that you can put together very quickly with items that you probably have at home. So we're going to get started with that in just a minute. But first, I wanted to tell you about something super important. That is today, Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping on orders of $75 or more before tax, and you have a few more hours to take advantage of that. Now, so many of you have taken advantage of this special offer that surprised all of us, and I thank you so much. And it's a great time to stock up on like adhesives or basic white cardstock. Check out that clearance rack and the last chance promotion where some of those items are discounted up to 60%. So be sure you check that out after the video is over. I'll have the link to shop on YouTube here in the video description. And if you use my host code when you place an order, if it's less than $150, you want to use this host code so I can send you a free gift. Now, if your order is over $150, and several of you have done that today, I'm still sending you the free gift. You don't want to use the host code for that because you get Stampin' rewards for free product from Stampin' Up! That you just add right onto your order before you finalize it. Okay? If I can help you with an order, just text me or give me a call. You can find my phone number on my blog at InkandInspirations.com. So let's get started. I'm going to get the screen bigger for you here. So I like to package my little candies or little gifts that I put into stockings. And so I wanted to share these ideas with you. And we don't have a lot of time right now because everyone's really busy. But if you have a few minutes, you can do some of these ideas. So the Ghirardelli chocolate squares are always such a pretty little candy to give. And this one, I had never seen this color, and it reminded me of Pool Party. And so that's the kind of what I went with as far as choosing my products to make this little treat holder. This flavor is white chocolate sugar cookie, and a friend gave me some because she knows I like to make the projects for these. So anyway, let me show you the finished one. It is super easy to do, and I decided to go with the gnomes, okay? But we're going to put even more of a shortcut today. This one, I actually stamped the image and colored it with my Stampin' Blends alcohol markers. But if you have some of this designer paper, you know that there are some gnomes in there that you can cut out and use and save yourself a little more time. So let's get started. So the basic pieces I'm going to put here with the measurements on the screen so that if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can do that. And then the other items that are used can be whatever you have. You can use a different stamp set, a different color scheme altogether, just whatever you have on hand. So this piece of cardstock, it's in Pool Party. It's cut at 3.5 by 6 and scored at 2 3/4 and 3 1/4 on this long side. Okay, we're going to do that in a minute. Here's a piece of coordinating designer paper. This from the Storybook Gnomes collection. This is on the last chance promotion. It is 3 1/4 by 2.5. And I'm sorry to say I haven't checked the list yet today on the items that have sold out already, because if they're on the clearance rack or the last chance promotion like this paper is, once it's gone, it's just sold out and no longer available. Here is a piece of our sheer Pool Party ribbon that's also in the mini catalog, and it's about 12 inches long, okay? So this is the base for what you need to get started, and then you just embellish as much as you want. So let me move these pieces out of the way, and we're going to work with this piece and do some scoring. All right, up here, we are going to score at 2 3/4 on this long side up at the top, 2 3/4 and 3 1/4. And that's just going to make the little spine to give it some depth to hold the little piece of candy. Now, you can use other things in these as well, because we put this this book binding, this fold here, okay? You have room to put whatever you'd like, a piece of candy, you could put cash in here, but this fits just right. See? And what I'll do here in a minute is put a little bit of Stampin' Seal and attach that right there, and we'll have a closure. So speaking of closure, that is the first item that you have to add to your base. So here's that 12-inch piece of ribbon. You could use cording or twine, whatever you have, in a color that coordinates with what you're using. And it's going to go around just like this, with the two tails meeting and being about the same length, okay? So to make it easier to assemble this project, I like to take a little bit of adhesive. You can use seal or a glue dot. I'm just going to put a little bit of seal there to hold that ribbon in place. Okay, so now I'm going to take the 3 1/4 by 2 1/2 piece of designer paper, and that is going to glue over that ribbon, which is going to secure it even more. Okay, so let me go ahead and apply the adhesive there and put that over top. I used to make these particular little treat holders all the time. I haven't done this one in a while. It's from way back in the archives. Okay, I'm trying to center that a little more. And then I'm just going to place this over top of the front, covering the ribbon. Okay, so now I'm going to open it up and give it a good press. And if you had liquid glue, you would especially want to give it a minute to dry. Okay, all right, so now we have that. Now let's work on our main image here. So I have one of the gnomes from the Storybook Gnomes Designer Series paper already cut out. If you don't have the dies for this particular bundle, then you can fussy cut it. Just cut around it with scissors. So here's the stamp set that I used. If you don't have the paper, you could use the stamp set, and that's what I did on this one, and just colored it. Okay, but this is like, if we're looking to save some time, this is the way to go if you have this paper. Another idea would be just to stamp a sentiment and punch it out and put it on the front. Okay, all right, so now I wanted a little bit of backing behind this gnome. So I've got some scrap pieces of paper in Poppy Parade, which is one of the colors in the designer paper, and Pacific Point. So first I am going to punch the decorative circle punch out from Pacific Point. Okay, and then I'm to grab my everyday label punch and punch it out of Poppy Parade. So again, you just need some scraps of designer paper to match your design or your paper or your image that you're using, and go for it. And you could layer other punches as well. Just use what you have. Now I wanted this piece as a background to this. Now you see that completely covers it up. So here's a tip. Just take your punch, cut it in half. It doesn't have to be absolutely straight. And you can either glue it behind on either side like this, okay? Or in this case, I want it to span the width of the designer paper. So I'm going to glue it just like that, okay? So let me take some liquid glue so I'll have some wiggle room before it's finalized. A little bit there. Again, this was the Everyday Label Punch that I'm using as a backing. You could also use layered dies, but when I want quick, I usually look for my punches that will work, and you can just think outside of the box and come up with different punches that will work together. See that? Okay, so now I'm going to just put this over top and center that, and there we have a pop of color, a pop of that Poppy Parade sticking out there from behind the Pacific Point to add a little color to all of these blues. My gnome I just cut out from the designer paper, and I'm just going to attach him with some liquid glue, and I'm going to, so I don't forget to put embellishments, I've got some gems here that were also in the mini catalog. I think these are still available. All right, let me put this down. So we have that. Bring a little bit of Pool Party up on top of the Poppy Parade. And let's see, now I want to stamp a sentiment. So I have lots of these thin scraps of 1/2 inch strips of basic white, and I keep them in a drawer right by my stamping surface, and I'm always grabbing for them. And I'm using the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is also from Kindest Gnomes, right here. And I'm going to use Pool Party ink and stamp it a bit here. I'm just going to line it up on my grid sheet. Grid sheets come in handy when you're stamping and trying to line up. That's pretty good, so I'm going to go with it. Let's put the ink away. Simple bit of stamping, and really, if you're short on time, you could use it just like this without a sentiment. I just wanted to use this one since it was part of the, and I'm going to slide it, since I put glue just in the center of the gnome, I can slide it just like that. Put a little bit of liquid glue right here on the end and slide it underneath the gnome, just like that. Let's see, I don't want to cover up my embellishment. There we go. So now, just about ready. Let's go ahead and put a couple of strips of the adhesive in here to hold our chocolate square inside. See how pretty that is? And then these two ends of the ribbon, I'm just going to tie a knot. Another way you can close this, it's a little more difficult for kitties to open, is put the two ribbons together and tie a piece of linen thread around it, holding the two pieces together. This, I think I'm going to actually, it's not a bow, it's a knot, right? Easier anyway. Okay, let's get that. And ribbon scissors to trim it off. Again, I cut that ribbon at 12 inches, and there is our first little stocking stuffer. Okay, super easy to do. You can make it as fancy or as simple as you'd like. Okay, it's just so cute when someone pulls it out of a stocking, or if you're just wanting to hand a little treat to someone you know. Okay, all right, let's move on to our next one. It's a tiny bag to put some candies in, and I forgot to get my candies, so let me get those. There's the tiny little bag. Look, they'll fit just right into a stocking. I'm having candy issues here. Okay, here I come. Sorry about that. I have some little chocolates here that we're going to put in a package just like this. So let me get my supplies. Okay, again, let's look at our basic pieces. Another 12-inch piece of ribbon and a 4.5 by 6.5 piece of designer paper. We're going to score on this long side at 2, 3, 5, and 6. And then we're going to turn it for what will be the bag bottom and score it at 1. Okay? So if you want to get a shot of that, you can. And I've got another one of these strips to stamp a sentiment. Okay? All right, let's go for it. I'll move this out of the way, and I'm just going to use my trimmer here. Put this on top. So I want it scored at 2, 3, 5, and 6. And then this will be the bottom. I don't have directionality on the paper as far as top or bottom. So I'm going to let this be the bottom and put it over here on this 1 inch so that I have this paper to hold the steady with my hand, and then give it a good score. All right, so first we're going to burnish on all of these score lines. Let's see. Okay, like that. Okay, so now we have this all scored and ready to go. Look, we could use the candy cane side too if we wanted to, but I wanted the darker, more colorful, which that's colorful too. I'm going to go with a diagonal stripe like I did on the other one. All right, so now we're going to take and cut off this small rectangle formed by the intersecting score lines on this last 6-inch score. So this is the tab we're going to use to hold the bag together. For the bottom, let's cut up on the score lines up to that 1-inch score to make our bag bottom tabs. First, I'm going to take and put some adhesive on the right side of this tab, that 1/2 inch there. Okay, fold it over, bring this around and line it up. And look, I got the stripes to match pretty much. And there's that tiny bag. Isn't that cute? All right, so now I kind of overlap that a little bit. I'm going to leave it. What I'm going to do? No, I don't want to do that. I always end up messing it up. Let's see. I put it down pretty with a pretty good rub there. So let me see. Oh, okay. It's going to work. Okay, let me try it again and not try to overlap that score line. See, we can fix it. Okay, now we have it. So here's our seam. So we're going to call that the back of the bag. So let's put in our 2 side tabs, then the back, and then the front. Okay, so there we have it. Let's throw in some chocolates. Then we're going to take our fingers and pinch in, just like that. We are going to take a punch and punch 2 holes here at the top. Not measuring, just going for it. And take our 12 inches of ribbon. Thread, let's see, where's my front? Here it is. We're going to thread through. And remember to put your treats or your gift inside before you tie it up for the first time. Like that, you don't have to undo it. It's ready to go. Okay, and I think this one I may tie a bow if there's enough ribbon here. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Let's tie this. And go around. Oh, goodness. Where am I to? I'm having issues. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's do this. Tie it around. I don't know why I'm having trouble. I think it's such a tiny area to try to tie the bow between those two punched holes. Okay, there we go. All right, again, a strip. I'm going to take the rest of this strip that I used. I have Merry Christmas, and this is from what stamp set? I believe it's from the Framed and Festive. Let me see. Where is it? It's somewhere. It's the Framed and Festive. It's the one that's limited time availability. It was on my desk, y'all, and it's probably here somewhere, but who knows? Okay, let's ink that up. So while I'm finishing up this project, be sure you join me on Facebook, Ink and Inspirations with Lisa Brown. I had my viewers, some asked for stocking stuffer ideas, and there were some good ideas on there. Not too many have posted yet, so go on over and share, because we're all looking for little ideas, right? And I'm going to trim that a little bit more because I don't want it wider than the width of the bag. So on this front, you could put an image. You stamp. You could punch like the reindeer and put it on. I'm going to put some adhesive here. Go across. I put it down before I looked at the other side. Okay, let's see. What can I put on here? Let's use some red rhinestones. Okay. Goodness, what a mess. Okay, so I'm going to put one there. One of the ideas on there, on the stocking stuffer idea, were cans of Pringles because they fit, and it's just a I thought it was a great idea. I'm being really generous with these rhinestones on this one. And we could even wrap designer paper around them, right? I might try that. Okay, so there are little candy bags, okay? Or you could fit little earrings in there. And then here are our little Ghirardelli chocolate square holders. So I hope you will try these ideas and let me know if you do. I'd love to see them. You can send me a picture. All right. So don't forget about the free shipping for a few more hours on orders of $75 or more. And here is host code. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me go here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you can use these ideas. They're so simple. You know you have some extra designer paper around, and that's mainly what was used here. And just put your little extra special touch on your stocking stuffers this year, okay? All right. Not sure about next week. I probably won't be with you on Thursday evening, but hopefully on Monday, I mean uh, Tuesday probably earlier or late. I don't know. We'll see. Be sure you follow me on inkinspirations.com for the details, or follow me on Facebook, Ink and Inspirations with Lisa Brown. And I also have a private group that you can join, Ink and Inspiration Stampers. So see you again soon and enjoy this holiday season. Take care. Bye bye.